I think I may have found a really good reason for all of you guys to start making your own chicken feed. Online claims have emerged, corroborated by others, that the popular Producer's Pride chicken feed from Tractor Supply chain has been recently altered and that its new formulation is causing chickens to stop laying eggs. Some suggest a deliberate reduction in the amount of protein in the feed may be causing the reduction in egg production. I don't know.
In nearly 30 something years of raising chickens, I have never gone without eggs, not even just one. And since before Halloween, I have not gotten a single egg until about a week ago. And I switched the feed that I was giving. I no longer am feeding chicken feed. I have switched my girls to goat feed. Steel cut oats, black sunflower seeds, and goat feed. I have to say, there's something to this. If I have to put my little tinfoil hat on, it's kind of weird.
Is Tractor Supply's feed causing chickens to stop laying eggs? I don't know, but would I be surprised? No. After the last 2 to 3 years, that everything that we've gone through, I'm not surprised by anything anymore. In fact, all of those things that have been happening is what led me to getting my first chickens back in September of 2020. We got our first 6 Rhode Island red chickens, and I'm really glad that I did that. To me, there was just so many things happening and have been happening that were outside of my control, and I felt like I had to do just one thing that was in my control, and that was to create a resilient food source right in my backyard. Hey, what are you doing? Get out of my shot. So I felt in my gut that I just needed to do something, and having chickens and eggs in my backyard just seemed like a no-brainer, and I'm really glad that I did that. And back when I first started raising chickens 3 years ago, I used those standard feeds at Tractor Supply. I don't think I used the Producer's Pride one, but I used the Do More and the Purina a few times. And back then I didn't know what I was doing. In fact, I probably still don't know everything that I'm doing. I'm still learning, but I'm just sharing what I learn as I learn it. And when I first had chickens, I didn't really know that their production really slowed down over winter. That's something that I learned that's something that I learned from having chickens. And that's the first thought that I had when I saw these stories, is that there's probably a lot of new chicken tenders in their backyards, and they probably aren't aware of how much the egg production tends to slow down over winter. But these reports are saying that the egg production has totally stopped completely, and that when people have switched their feed from Tractor Supply to other feeds, like from local mills or homemade, that the egg production has started back up. And that is weird that people are saying they haven't had eggs in months. Usually there's a trickle of 1 or 2 eggs every couple days or something like that, but not to stop completely. So I don't know if this story's true, but it's very interesting, and I'm sure somebody will do some lab tests and get to the bottom of what is actually in those feeds and if anything has changed or been added. It wasn't until this year, actually, that I learned that the trick for me to get my chickens to continue laying consistently throughout the winter was adding a greenhouse cover over a good portion of their run. 2/3 of their run, I would say, is covered, so that it allows their feet to stay dry for the most part. And hey, I'm recording something here. Can you keep it down, please? Hey. Anyway, the greenhouse plastic allows them to stay a little bit warmer and covered and protected from cold winds and stuff like that. And Matthew, the more comfortable they are, the more they seem to lay eggs. And that's something I'm gonna keep doing now going into the future. So I don't know the truth of the situation, but what I do know is that this situation should be a wake-up call. You no longer can depend on the people you thought you could depend on to do what they say they're going to do. You can't depend on the big food corporations to put healthy ingredients in your food, because they want you addicted to their food, so you'll keep coming back for more. Pharmaceutical companies want you stuck in a cycle of treating symptoms with their medicines that tend to create other side effects that also require more medicines, rather than simply seeking a cure in a more natural way. People complain about what their children are being taught in school, but they don't do anything about it. They'll complain about prices at the grocery store, but won't make any moves to do something about it. You can't even depend on the news to tell you the truth. They say something is true, and then 2 to 3 years later you find out they were all total lies, but they'll never admit it. They'll just move forward with more lies and distractions to keep you from seeing those original lies. So now's the time to take back control. Homeschool your kids, grow your own food, start your own flock of chickens, and create your own feed for those chickens. Now, if you look a little bit closer at some of the ingredients in your average, not just your average chicken feed, but in your average food that you buy at the grocery store, you'll notice, if you look on the back, a lot of those foods come full of inflammatory seed oils. Things like canola oil and soybean oil. Those kind of oils are very highly processed and cause a lot of inflammation in your body. And I think it's also curious that heart disease is the #1 cause of death, I believe, still, at least in our country. Inflammation, you have to think, is a key part of that, and those oils are in everything. And those oils, those inflammatory oils, is why when I learned about that, and I looked and saw that they're in most standard chicken feeds, even some organic ones have those inflammatory oils. I don't care if they're organic, they're still inflammatory oils, highly processed, and I didn't want them in my feed. That's why I started making my own chicken feed. So I'd like to encourage all of you, if you have your own chickens, try making your own chicken feed. I did a really good video recently. I did a couple videos on how to make your own chicken feed. This most recent one that I did on how to make your own whole grain organic chicken feed, I think was one of the best videos I've done on it. And I show you how to source those grains. I used Azure Standard, and I have a link down below for that. And I'll put the link up here for this video for you guys to check out, because it's a really good recipe and it actually lasted a really long time. And I think I got a pretty good price for total cost per pound making it myself. I think I saved some money as well. So please, if you feel so inclined, check out that video that I just mentioned and start taking back control of your life in some small way. That's one way you could do it, right in your backyard with your chickens. Also, if you're new here, please hit the like button if you like this video, first of all, and subscribe to our channel if you're new here as well. I'm also doing a new video series called the 400 Square Foot Garden. I've done a few videos to begin that series, and I'm going to be creating a brand new garden in a 20-foot by 20-foot space, 400 square foot space, and I'm going to be creating a raised bed system along with some containers and grow bags to create the most efficient garden space that I think you could make in a 20 by 20 space, which I think a lot of people have that space probably in their backyard. That's probably grass that I think you could very easily turn into a garden space. And if you're interested in following along with that, I have a link down below to our newsletter, and if you follow along our newsletter, you will get sent my free guide, which comes with a crop plan for growing food this entire growing season. I'll give you a free crop plan that I've already printed out for you, a couple pages on all different crop varieties that I'm also going to be growing and focusing on in that 400 square foot garden. So please check that out if you're interested in that. We're going to have a lot more videos on that coming up very soon. Anyway, that's going to wrap up this video. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.